Action. We made this movie because we wanted to win Academy Awards, and I think that we will.
The thing about getting an Oscar is it's not easy. It's a lot of work. You have to peddle your flesh. You got to do screenings and Q&As. You have to figure out where all those people who vote live and then send them presents.
It's possible there are some categories of Oscar that we don't technically qualify for, like cartoon movie, which maybe some cartoon movie will win.
This is going to be my masterpiece.
And then if the presents are illegal, try to make sure they don't tell anybody, and go to nursing homes and find some of the older people who may not vote unless you personally take them to the place where they vote. You know, it's a lot of work, but I think it's worth it because we care about the movie and we care about the story. And we, you know, we want an Oscar.
Walk hard. Hard down life's rocky road.
Okay, really nice. Walk Hard was an idea that I had one night, make a fake biopic.
Well, one day Jake said, Judd, let's do a movie that makes fun of all of these biopics like Ray and Walk the Line and Great Balls of Fire and just all the rock movies.
We had about 10 big ideas that we knew would be the basis of the movie.
And then we just had to decide who this guy was. And slowly we realized that he was a combination of Roy Orbison and Johnny Cash and Ray Charles and Jerry Lee Lewis, and Richie Valens, and he was all these people.
Right away, Judd and I started talking about who should play Dewey, and we knew that we wanted to find someone who needed a biopic of his own. And John miraculously hadn't done one yet.
If you just let me play one of my songs that I wrote, I think you'll like it a whole lot better.
I was thrilled that he was thinking of me for the lead of a movie.
You know, he's the guy that would get this part. That's what's funny about having him in the movie. He can sing, he can dance. He's a great comedic actor, he's a great dramatic actor.
Goodbye, sis. Goodbye, rough-hewn cabin.
I'm in awe of John C. Reilly, and it's great to be awestruck by someone again.
John's performance is truly spectacular. What he does in the movie is sort of shocking and fascinating, and it's just a level of acting and commitment that is very unusual in this kind of comedy.
One whole is good, but two halves is better.
It's really fun to watch a guy who's so passionate about the work, putting everything he's learned his entire career into such a ridiculous movie.
It's time to come to grips with the mulatto. Like chocolate.
Kristen Wiig plays my first wife, Edith, who sort of typical of biopics does not understand.
Dewey, can you keep down that racket? I'm trying to feed your child.
Kristen is one of the world's great improvisationalists, so we knew that we were bringing someone who would make it instantly funnier, and she did.
No, don't cry, baby.
There's the scene where like my hair's all messed up and they put snot in my nose. It was real snot too. It was someone's real snot.
Mama said there's a lot of evil on the road. Temptations.
Let's see. I watched a lot of Southern movies so I could get the dialect. No, I'm kidding. I didn't really do that much. I should say that I did like a lot of stuff.
I've been singing in my church choir since I was a girl.
Well, I like the sound of that.
So does the Lord.
Jenna Fischer plays my wife, my second wife, Darlene.
Let's do it.
You know, I worked out a lot for this film. I think I've always been in relatively good shape, but this movie's kind of athletic in many senses, especially some of our highly charged sexual encounters.
I love you. I love you too.
I had rug burns all over my elbows, which are finally healing. Man, I got beat up in this film. What's happened to you, Dewey Cox?
Stay out of this, Darlene.
John is playing the role with such complete commitment, and Jenna in the role of Darlene just needed to meet him sort of blow for blow wherever he happened to be working. She's an extraordinary actress.
You need to clean yourself up, otherwise...
Otherwise what?
Otherwise, I can't be married to you no more.
I know you don't mean that.
I believe you know that I do. So this is Jen, and she is my wardrobe assistant, and her job basically on this film is to keep my boobs inside my wardrobe. So she's me, and I am now Jen. Ready? This is the approach.
Kind of how we mic you too, you know.
Ta-da!
Dewey, sweetheart, there's someone here to see you.
I'm in this horrible old age makeup, which, I'll be honest with you, I did not know that I was so vain until I put this shit on my face. Let me tell you, when you see yourself aged by like 45 years, it freaks you out.
I hope this isn't what I look like as an old man.
No, I think this is it.
You think so?
Now you
At
know.
16?
Yeah.
I didn't know how bad I was gonna look.
Dude, we don't know this song.
You just follow me. The band, we took kind of the easy way out, and instead of writing a lot of material for the band, we wrote almost nothing and hired 3 genius improvisatory actors to sort of do it all.
I don't know what was like on that side of the glass, but on this side of the glass, it was a party, right, guys?
No. As a matter of fact, it was boring and terrible. You didn't sing it too well. Your dancing looked cheesy.
You look like a clown, kind of.
A clown that you don't like.
It was a lot of improvising, and Parnell made me laugh a whole bunch of times. Like, he would just surprise me with the things that he would say.
I was born with a partial vagina.
One more time from the top of the song.
I don't know if they realized when they signed on to do it that they would all have to learn how to play instruments.
I worked with Chris, Tim, and Matt on, looking like they're playing.
It looks too punk rock. It doesn't look like smooth like this song.
That's my nature.
Matt and Tim and all of us were of the same mind about learning to play the songs. Even though you don't hear us play, but we wanted it to look as authentic as possible.
You know, a real guitarist is a real man, and I'm half a man for being able to fake it.
In their early rehearsals, to hear them play, like, they would play along with the track, and when you'd actually listen to them, it was rough. And by the end of the movie, they could play those songs. Casting a movie like this is just, for some reason, somebody or some combination of people just makes you laugh.
Mama, you made it! Margot Martindale plays my mother. She's one of these people who just has the comic timing of, like, one of the greats.
You can't smell anything.
I think I lost my sense of smell.
You gone smell blind, son. It's been so much fun. It's so much fun. I feel like I'm in high school doing a skit, making all my classmates laugh.
Dance with me, pal. Does make you kind of want to move. Yeah, it sure does.
Raymond Barry plays my father, Pa, and he's just an amazing actor. He has the ability to be very funny, but when you look at his eyes, there's a real connection like you have with the best actors.
I want you out of this house, boy. How? This boy done gone raised himself a ruckus.
The extremity of it, like people getting cut in half and things of that nature, and people taking it as if it was absolutely real. That's what's so funny.
You think you're so great. Sitting there, all drugged up on your fancy trampoline, Mr. Rockstar. You call yourself a Cox. You're the black sheep of this family. You're the black Cox. And until you get right with Jesus, you'll never be nothing but a big black Cox.
Are days when you realize that you're just working with the funniest people in the world.
Don't you agree, John Lennon?
Yes, Dewey Cox.
It takes a lot of work from a lot of people just to pull off a thing like this.
And background laughing.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
It's like getting a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. We've attacked it one step at a time.
What I think is funny about the movie is it looks as good or better than any Oscar-winning biopic.
And set. Yes, let's go.
Uta Breezowitz, who's the cinematographer I've worked with a lot. She's just incredibly talented. She's fantastic.
Do you want one where the left hand is a little bit further down that we can see you a little bit better, like this?
Yeah, that's good. That's nice. We built a lot of our sets too, so there was a great opportunity when you do that to really make it look like exactly what you want it to look like.
Sort of a production designer's dream. Lavish, epic stories spanning decades, American history, rock and roll. I mean, what could be better?
I wanted the movie to feel like someone had hijacked an actual Oscar movie.
Here's America's new hit song, Walk Hard, recorded just 35 minutes ago by Dewey Cox.
I'd like to just get a lot of research out, and I started by making just a big flip book. And then I would take that book to Jake every 2 weeks and flip through and say, okay, we're in the South, it's 1940. Here are the farms, turn to the 50s. I found this as an idea for a recording studio. And then we get into a discussion, well, so how literal are we gonna be about the recording studio? Is it exactly Sun Records? Is it like Sun Records?
I walked on stage and saw the 50s recording studio where John Michael Higgins records him playing Walk Hard for the first time. And the set was just so unbelievably perfect.
Gotta keep that vision in your mind's eye when you're standing on top of a mountain high.
Sun Records was an important set to kind of like take us into the music business, to get a sense of where we were. You know, this is a small, out-of-the-way recording studio. Dewey's lucky to get a spot in this little sort of storefront place.
Son, you're 15 years old?
Yes, sir.
That's very young. And very often these gentlemen do bring in kids with a good deal of talent. They're sort of wunderkinds. They get out there and they sing and dance just perfectly. Sort of idiot savants. You know what that means?
Well, half of it I do.
Yeah, well, you got about half the equation.
Here we go! Mama leave home for the kids get glad. You know our house gonna jump like mad. We're gonna jump, little children jump.
An important set for us was the nightclub where Dewey is discovered. And we had a good location in an old theater. It had a lot of potential, and I was very keen on it. And they got cold feet. And that was a little hairy because we had, I think, 3 weeks to design it and get it built and painted and everything. But I have a fantastic crew, and they just kind of went at it and cranked it out.
Bobby Shad's club, Leroy's Lounge, was just this unbelievably lush piece of design work. It sort of raised all of our game because you couldn't like do lame stuff on a set this beautiful.
We're gonna jump, little children, Mama and Papa go!
We built the interior of like 3 houses.
You want some more, Shorty? There you go. Have I introduced you to my giraffe?
And of course, each one's important to sort of establish Dewey at a point in his life.
I'm on the beach. I'm not marching on the beach. I had a great collaborative experience with Deb McGuire, the costume designer on this movie.
I've never worked with an actor that was so focused. We must have had 5-hour fittings.
If you do 120 looks in a movie, that means you've tried on 700, 800 outfits.
There were no favorites. Each period had its own magic. The Elvis period and the Dylan period and the 70s television show and the roller skating and the dancing, and it was just like, there's nothing he couldn't do.
In this scene, he's wearing like a little Jesus diaper, we called it, because it's not a diaper because there's no ass in it.
It's inappropriate!
You can't put contemporary underwear on expected to look, period.
No mortal can stop me!
We could be as raunchy or as crazy or as dirty or as twisted as we wanted to be in this movie. And that has been such a fun, exciting environment.
Is like a big dysfunctional family, but in a good way.
We built this group of people that's really fun, that all get our sense of humor in the same way.
I've had a really good time doing this movie. You know, there were days shooting where it was mind-blowingly cool and really fun.